When ownership ceases to define luxury for many generations, luxury has been characterized by ownership: a larger residence, a quicker vehicle, a private aircraft, a collection of items that signify freedom through possession. However, upon closer examination of contemporary life, an unusual trend begins to emerge. Numerous individuals possess more than any previous generation, yet they still find themselves waiting for much of their lives, waiting in traffic, waiting for appointments, waiting for replies, waiting for the opportune moment to travel, to relax, to start, to truly live. The contradiction is subtle yet significant. We have developed a remarkable skill in gathering choices, yet we have paradoxically become quite ineffective at realizing the benefits those choices were meant to provide. Perhaps this is why a pertinent question to consider today is not, what do you own instead? It is, what can you genuinely access? For there exists a profound distinction between owning resources and having seamless access to meaningful experiences. One individual may own multiple vehicles yet seldom find the time to leave the city. Conversely, another may possess very little, yet each morning steps outside into parks, libraries, engaging conversations, fulfilling work, and tranquil evenings. One has more possessions, the other enjoys greater access. These are not equivalent lives. In the next few moments, I would like to delve into a concept that subtly transforms our perception of modern luxury. That perhaps the ultimate form of wealth is not ownership at all. It is the liberty to access what enhances life with minimal unnecessary obstacles. Why modern abundance still feels surprisingly restrictive. Many discussions surrounding success presume that gaining more inherently leads to an improved life. The formula seems straightforward: earn more, own more, upgrade more, then freedom will follow. However, reality frequently contradicts this formula. Ownership addresses merely one aspect of the human experience. Access addresses another. This distinction is significant as contemporary society has excelled at producing possessions, while simultaneously becoming more complex to navigate. Cities expand, services proliferate. Information becomes boundless, choices increase, yet each new layer often adds another layer of complexity: passwords, subscriptions, queues, traffic, notifications, administrative systems, endless decisions. The modern individual finds themselves surrounded by opportunities while continuously negotiating barriers that stand between them and those opportunities. This results in a subtle psychological condition. Life may appear abundant on paper but feels fragmented in practice. We are aware that thousands of books are available, yet finding uninterrupted time to read proves challenging. Healthy food options are accessible. However, consistently preparing it becomes difficult. Beautiful locations remain close by, yet discovering an unhurried afternoon to enjoy them becomes increasingly rare. Knowledge has never been more readily available. Attention has never been more fiercely contested. The issue rarely stems from a lack of resources. It is the friction that hinders us. Small forms of resistance accumulate throughout the day. Each one appears trivial. Together, they quietly influence the quality of our lives. Behavioral scientists often define friction as anything that heightens the effort needed to carry out an action. What is less frequently addressed is the emotional toll of living amidst constant friction. Every unnecessary hurdle drains attention. Every avoidable complication occupies cognitive space. Ultimately, fatigue rises not because life is unmanageable, but because nearly everything necessitates negotiation. The implications extend beyond mere convenience. They influence our sense of identity, as every significant experience requires exceptional effort. Individuals tend to diminish their expectations over time. They defer their curiosity, postpone their relationships, limit their exploration, not due to a lack of appreciation for these aspects, but because engaging with them increasingly feels costly in terms of time, energy, and mental capacity. Gradually, the concept of ownership is confused with the essence of living. Collecting takes the place of truly experiencing. Preparation supersedes active participation. Potential is valued more than actual presence. And without awareness, we start to gauge our wealth by our possessions rather than by what is authentically accessible to us. Designing a life focused on access rather than accumulation, luxury may be perceived through a completely different perspective. Instead of inquiring, "What do I own?" we could consider, how readily can I engage with what is truly significant? This redirects focus from possession to availability, from hoarding to involvement, from accumulation to intentional design. There are 3 aspects of meaningful access. The first aspect is physical access. Distance influences experience more than we often recognize. When beautiful environments, nourishing meals, nature, healthcare, education, and community are easily accessible, they transform into regular elements of life rather than rare privileges. The true wealth lies not in ownership, it resides in closeness. Many of life's most enriching experiences diminish in value when they become overly challenging to attain. The second aspect is temporal access. Even remarkable opportunities are rendered inaccessible. Without sufficient time, a library holds little significance if every evening is filled with fatigue. A serene coastline offers little if visiting it necessitates extensive planning. A meaningful friendship falters if schedules are perpetually misaligned. Time is thus not simply another asset. It serves as the gateway through which all other resources become actionable. Many individuals believe that freedom is derived from possessing more items. More frequently, freedom rises from reclaiming sufficient time to engage with what is already available. The third aspect is psychological access. This may be the most elusive of all. 2 individuals can stand before the same sunset. One perceives beauty, the other remains mentally preoccupied with unresolved discussions and incessant notifications. Both have identical external access. Only one truly engages with the moment internally. Psychological availability dictates whether life is genuinely experienced. Attention acts as the link that unites opportunity with significance. Without attention, abundance remains unseen. This viewpoint alters how we assess progress. Rather than questioning if life offers sufficient opportunities, we should consider whether unnecessary obstacles hinder our ability to attain them. A carefully designed life gently reduces obstacles. It reduces unnecessary intricacies. It aligns commitments with what truly matters. It appreciates simplicity not merely for its aesthetic appeal, but because it facilitates more meaningful experiences. This concept is evident in various fields. Outstanding architecture minimizes friction between individuals and their environment. Superb public transportation alleviates friction between individuals and opportunities. Innovative technology bridges the gap between intention and action. Nurturing relationships lessen friction between honesty and a sense of belonging. This philosophy is equally applicable on a personal level. Clarity eases the friction between thought and decision-making. Mindfulness diminishes friction between experience and appreciation. Contentment alleviates friction between the present and the future. Viewed from this perspective, luxury shifts from being about extraordinary experiences to making everyday moments beautifully attainable. A serene morning, a significant conversation, a leisurely walk, concentrated work, restful sleep, uninterrupted reading, cooking at a relaxed pace. These moments demand very little ownership. What they truly require is access. And access is often a matter of design rather than purchase. The subtle richness of effortless living. The most precious luxuries increasingly do not leave a visible mark. They cannot always be captured in photographs. They are not easily showcased. Yet, they profoundly enhance daily life more than many costly items. One such luxury is the ability to attain meaningful experiences with minimal friction. Envision a life where tranquility is readily available rather than deferred, where relationships flourish because there is time for them, where health is nurtured through accessible rather than heroic choices, where curiosity thrives because attention is not perpetually divided. This represents a new perspective on abundance. It prioritizes ease over excess, flow over ostentation, accessibility over hoarding. Conventional luxury often poses the question, what can I possess that others cannot? Intangible luxury, however, poses a more subdued inquiry. What becomes beautifully attainable when unnecessary complications are eliminated? The response is seldom another item. It signifies a different quality of life, greater presence, increased participation, enhanced freedom, more space to recognize what has always been there. In this regard, effortless access becomes a type of inner wealth. It conserves energy for living rather than perpetually managing existence. And perhaps this is the true promise of genuine luxury, not remarkable possessions, but a kinder relationship with the everyday experience. A life of abundance is one that is attainable. Perhaps the future definition of luxury will not hinge on material possessions. Instead, it may be defined by the extent to which individuals can live freely. A life of significance is not determined by the quantity of opportunities that surround us. It is shaped by the number of opportunities we can authentically engage with. While ownership has its significance and achievement holds its worth, neither ensures active participation. The subtle privilege of accessing what enriches the mind, body, and spirit with minimal resistance may represent one of the most profound forms of prosperity that our era can foster. If this viewpoint resonates with you after today's contemplation, you may start to recognize luxury in unforeseen areas, not in accumulation, but in accessibility, not in abundance, but in simplicity, not in acquiring more of the world, but in permitting more of life to genuinely unfold before you. Thank you for taking these moments to reflect more thoughtfully with Clarimore. Until we meet again, may you persist in crafting a life where clarity is the ultimate form of wealth.